Charlie Dern with you this morning. We're live at Neuman Pools today. It is 46 degrees. Make sure to tune in to our Daily Dodge TV stream over on YouTube and Daily Dodge TV on dailydodge.com. We're outside today, so we've got a big day in store here at Neuman Pools. The applied construction class from Beaver Dam High School is here, and they're going to demonstrate. Well, I'm here with Chris Neuman, who can tell me all about what we have today, because I'll be honest, we didn't have a lot of trade stuff in high school for me growing up. I'm from close to Milwaukee, so this is completely new to me, and this is phenomenal. Yesterday, Sierra, Sherry, and we were at the Beaver Dam Economic Luncheon, and they were talking about the increase in Dodge County, or I believe it was the 17 to 24 demographic, the rise in youth workers staying in Dodge County, working in the trades. So this is a really cool opportunity that students have at Beaver Dam High School. But Chris, welcome in.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for being here.
I'm really excited to learn all about Neuman Pools Inc., to learn all about everything that we have, or that you guys have going on here. But I wanted to start with the history, because I'll be honest, when I started working here at the station, I lived in Sun Prairie, and I would commute from Sun Prairie up to here, and I'd drive past the Blue Barn, drive past Neuman Pools every day, and I always thought, what's a pool company doing right there in Beaver Dam, right across from the Blue Barn? So could you walk me through a little bit of the history of Neuman Pools?
Sure can. So Neuman Pools is a family-owned, family-ran business. We're just heading into 2025 as our 50th year in business.
Wow.
And so it's a milestone for us. There are not very many aquatic construction companies that have 50 years in business, much less with the wide range of work that we perform. So we're kind of unique in the nation as to the kind of work that we do, and our longevity. So the company was started by my dad and my uncle, Randy and Chuck Neuman, and they started the company back in 1975. Our family, their dad and their family were all plumbers in the Beaver Dam area, and that's where they got their background. And they grew up in the plumbing business and plumbing shop. My dad was actually an apprentice plumber for a lot of years and almost became a master plumber, but decided to start the pool business with my uncle just short of that. And so they had a real strong mechanical background, understanding of plumbing and how water flows and moves, and that's kind of their family history there, and decided they wanted to start building swimming pools.
The plumbing makes a lot of sense. I never thought about the plumbing. So, well, this might sound a little dumb, but do you guys do the entire operation in the pool? Or I guess I kind of assumed that you guys focused on the construction and getting the water and it works right. Mm-hmm. But I guess maybe I assumed that you brought in a plumbing company or you brought in others. You guys do all that?
Yeah, yes. Neuman Pools, we build backyard to water parks. So you can take your smallest backyard swimming pool all the way up to your largest water parks in the country. And we do all that and everything in between.
Wow.
So we have our own design departments, and so we start with the design process, the construction process, and then we also move into the service process, where after the fact we take care of the pools, we maintain them. So really the full gamut. You know, if you want a swimming pool or a water park, you know, it's something that we can help you with from concept to swimming. So
I'm 23, so a pool's a little bit out of the cards for me right now.
Yeah.
But if I were to want to get started on the pool journey, do you prefer in-person consultation over the phone?
So almost all of our initial contact is phone or internet-based, but then we move straight to in-person. You know, we want to talk to you. We want to understand how you and your family want to use your pool, what the purpose is. You know, kind of go through a whole process so that we can come up with a solution for you that's going to fit your needs. I like to tell people that I feel like a swimming pool changes the way people recreate. You know, it's a pastime. It's things people do to relax and enjoy. And if you have one, or you have one in your community and you use it, it changes what you do in your spare time. You know, some people have boats, other people have cottages, other people have pools that they go to. So and some of the most fun we have when we're recreating and relaxing has to do with water, right?
Yeah.
Especially in the summer.
Definitely, and like even swimming or walking in a pool just to get your steps in, stuff like that.
Yeah.
A lot of the pictures, well, if you walk around inside the Neuman Pools retail area, there's lots of pictures of different projects that you guys have done, and something that I really like about it is for instance, like some of these backyards that you'll see, there's the pool and it looks beautiful and it looks so nice. But then also the other landscaping in the area, it's designed to be centered around the pool, if that makes sense, to where, I don't know, like do you know what I'm getting at?
I do.
The cabanas and yeah.
And that's very important to us. You know, whether somebody's building a new home or adding onto an existing home, we want to make sure that the pool and the space works for how you're going to use it, and it feels like it's been there forever. You know, you don't want to just plop a pool in the backyard anywhere and it feels disconnected. So it's important. I mean, like I said, pools really change the way people recreate, and the memories and good times that are built around a swimming pool, I mean, those are the things you remember forever. You know, family cookouts, time with the kids, time with your grandparents, your parents, you know, hot dogs and burgers on the grill. You know, I mean, those are the things that we remember forever.
That's the best, absolutely. And then when it comes to Neuman Pools having been here for now 50 years in 2025, what's the next step? How do you guys continue to grow, continue to be a part of this community?
So, I mean, I guess there's two things. We really like to continue growing organically, you know, in the work that we do. And we really like to make sure that we're staying up with the industry, following new designs, new ideas, you know, and it's really more in the use and how people use pools, you know. And so we're always trying to be cutting edge, be leaders in the industry. As a company, we built some of the very first wave pools in the country.
Really?
Some of the first lazy rivers, and you know, we've grown in the industry and worked with a lot of different manufacturers and worked hand in hand with them to help them develop products that have changed the industry.
Wow. And
so it's important to us, and the relationships that we build with our vendors, our clients, our employees are all extremely important to us. We are a relationship-based company through in and throughout.
So there's trends with pools, and I guess I never even considered that. So what would be kind of the trendy pool thing now?
So right now there's really, I mean, residentially I see really two different trends. One is very small pools, you know, for yards that don't have a lot of room, you know, but something small right now, or on the other side of that, really big. There's not a lot in the middle, but we're seeing smaller bodies of water to fit in tight spaces. And then we're also seeing that pools are a lot more built for leisure and relaxation. People are trying to take that resort pool from a resort and put a version of that in their backyard, so they don't have to go to Mexico or Florida to relax. They can do it all summer in their backyard. And so, I mean, that's really what we're seeing out there as kind of a trend.
Awesome. Well, Chris, we have a big day. It looks like they're getting started. The concrete truck just got here. What do we have in store for the day?
All right. So we specialize in concrete swimming pools. There's basically three different kinds of swimming pools in the industry. There's a vinyl liner swimming pool, a fiberglass swimming pool, and a concrete swimming pool. All right. And we specialize in concrete swimming pools. And so what that means is that the shells that actually hold the water for our swimming pools are all concrete. And so we use a process called shotcrete, and that's where we actually spray the concrete at high pressure through a hose, and we can actually make the concrete stand up and form it with only a one-sided form. And so this is really specific to only a few industries: concrete swimming pools, mining, some artificial theming, things of that nature. So it really is a specialty process, and so I think it's a really great opportunity for the kids to see this, because there's only a small percentage of people in the trades or in construction that even see or get to do this process in their lifetime.
Cool.
A lot of times when we're shooting pools, whether it be a water park or even a residential or commercial, a lot of people from the job site kind of tend to migrate on concrete day because it's something they've never seen before.
Okay.
So we're really excited for the kids to have this opportunity and get a chance to do this. And you know, in many ways, it's almost like another stripe on their arm. You know, like, hey, you know, I've got to do this, and you know, so I think that's a really cool thing for them. So we partnered with the high school, and they've made these small wall panels, and it's basically like just a section of a swimming pool. So it's just a small piece of the floor and the wall, and we had them form it up, and we had them put the rebar in and form it, and now today they're going to put the concrete in it. So it's just it's a little glimpse of the process of building a swimming pool.
So this isn't their first time here working on this.
We went to the high school where they built these wall sections that you see behind us. That's where they built these, and then we brought them out here for concrete day.
Got it. I see. Well, sounds like I've got a lot to learn today, so I'm
Yeah.
really looking forward to all that and more. We're going to take a quick break here. Then when we're back, we'll be joined again by Chris Neuman for a couple minutes here on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. All right, and welcome back into Hometown Today on 95.3 WBEV. Charlie Dern with you this morning. Hometown Today is presented by McKinstry's Home Furnishings in downtown Beaver Dam, located underneath the red awning. Make sure to check out McKinstry's Home Furnishings, as they have where customers matter and quality counts for 166 years. And then Hometown Today is also presented by Professional Floor, covering your floor and so much more. They're located at 713 Park Avenue in Beaver Dam, or you can visit them online at proflr.com. They currently have their holiday hosting sale going on, so make sure to give Randy and the team a call or visit them over at 713 Park Avenue in Beaver Dam. We're joined live at Neuman Pools, Inc. In Beaver Dam, right across from the blue Culver's barn. That's the way I've been describing it. I feel like, that's a good way of doing it. But I'm joined live by Chris Neuman. And in the break there, we were talking about, I was like, okay, so like, where are the projects this winter? Arizona, going abroad. What are the deals? And you said you guys can do it, projects all winter long.
Yep, that's right. So we build swimming pools year round, and I know that is surprising, but early on in the start of Neuman Pools, we got involved in the water park business. And so almost all water parks are open all summer, right? Can't shut down to build a water park. That's when people are coming. So we got very used to projects starting at Labor Day and having to be open by Memorial Day.
Wow.
All right, and it forced us to find methods that allow us to build correctly, responsibly through the winter months to be able to meet those deadlines. And so that was one of the things that kind of helped promote our growth in the industry is being creative and like a lot of other construction companies have had to do throughout the years.
I probably should have assumed the whole indoor pool thing. I was just thinking outdoors. I was too closed-minded there with Neuman Pools and all you guys can do.
Yeah, and we build outdoors all winter as well.
So
not
okay.
just indoors.
All right.
So it's we do what we can.
Okay.
And so
that's phenomenal, and I didn't realize until I was here with Sierra checking out the area a couple weeks ago. I didn't realize the YMCA pool, the indoor, the water park there.
Yep.
That's Neuman Pools.
Yes. So we were very involved with that. So the YMCA has always been really important to our family. My grandfather, at a young age, had a heart attack and was able to go to the Y on a regular basis and join some of the swimming and exercise classes. And just the friendships that he made and the relationships. And so the YMCA just became very close to our family kind of through that connection. We've always been a supporter of the YMCA, but that kind of brought it to another level.
Wow.
And so when the YMCA was building the new building, it was very important to us to be a part of that and to help make that feasible, just because we saw firsthand how it helped our family and other families and what the YMCA stands for. So to be able to be a part of that and to help make that project come to fruition is just really important to us as a family, and we felt like it was something that's really important to the community.
Well, it certainly looks beautiful, and you guys do a lot of work in the community. Could you talk about some of those things that you guys do?
Yes. So we all grew up in the community. My dad, my uncle, my grandparents, our families have all grown up and lived in this community our entire lives, and so being a part of this community and giving back to the community is very important to us. So obviously we talked about the Dodge Y. Swan Park, we're very involved with the park, the splash pad up there, as well as the lights there with Sheriff Dale Schmidt. So, just being part of things like that, as well as the Humane Society, a number of different sporting teams, the United Way, Green Valley. It's important to us to be involved with the community in a lot of different aspects. However we can give back, we do try to.
That's fantastic, and the community it really feels like the community responds well when they see that respect reciprocated from different companies. And you guys also do some work at Radio Park with us as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And so it's just being part of the community and letting people know that we're here and what we're about and is important to us.
Awesome. Well, Chris, thanks so much for joining me this morning. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
We're going to step aside here on Hometown Today on 95.3 WBEV, and when we're back, we'll be talking with some more members of Neuman Pools here as the project gets underway from the Beaver Dam High School's Applied Construction class. So all that and more here on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. All right, and welcome into Hometown Today on 95.3 WBEV. Charlie Dern with you here this morning. I'm joined by Chris Neuman, Ross Damon, and Chad Haas. We're here talking about, well, the Beaver Dam applied construction, which you might be able to hear it in the background here over at Neuman Pools. Hometown Today is presented by McKinstry's Home Furnishings in downtown Beaver Dam and professional floor covering, your floor, and so much more. They're located at 713 Park Avenue in Beaver Dam or online at proflr.com. But right now we're over at West 9684 Beaverland Parkway in Beaver Dam at the Neuman Pools location here, right across the highway from the Blue Culver's Barn. Guys, welcome in Chris, Ross, and Chad. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
So we have a lot that we can talk about here, but I wanted to get a little bit more background on the program and how it got started. Would anyone like to start us off on the beginning of that program?
Yeah, so I met the guys here at Neuman Pools a couple years ago at the career fair at Beaver Dam High School, and we kind of got the ball rolling a little bit, just talking about maybe doing a partnership, getting the kids involved in the construction, getting their feet wet in the field, and it just kind of grew from there.
Yeah, and one thing that Chris and I were talking about was the importance of the trades and getting into the trades. Ross, could you kind of talk about maybe your journey getting involved with Neuman Pools and why it's important to give back to the community?
Yeah, so as a tech ed teacher, we're seeing a lot of students that the traditional route of a four-year school might not be for them, and getting into the trades, the students can just realize, like, you don't need a four-year degree to be making a lot of money. Right? There's a lot of careers involved in the trades that they can make a very healthy living, and with this program, it's just allowing them again to just see the different fields there are and what's involved. Like, being in the trades isn't just framing up a house. You can be building pools, you're doing a whole variety of things.
I definitely think it's cool to expose the kids to the different things, because like you just said, when you think of trades, you originally think of like the very base of it, and you don't think about the specifics on, well, making pools and making indoor water parks and traveling and doing stuff like that. So that's one thing that I've found really cool about Neuman Pools is, I guess, the differentness of it, if that makes sense, Chris. How it's not your usual like plumbing or electrician, that kind of deal.
Exactly, and that's one thing that we've always felt is very unique about Neuman Pools and unique about the career opportunities at Neuman Pools is, we build swimming pools from start to finish. So we involve many different aspects of construction. We have excavation, we have forming and formwork, carpentry, rebar and steel, concrete, shotcrete, flat work, even just poured concrete as far, slide foundations, surge tanks, things of that nature. And then we also have a whole finishing aspect. All of our pools are plastered. We have tile work that we do, coping and other masonry. So really, we always say that, we have pool builders that work for us, and that's what we're trying to build is pool builders. And the fun thing about being a pool builder is there's so many different aspects to being a pool builder. You're not going to work every day and doing just plumbing or doing just, just concrete work or just electrical work. You get variety. You get to change around.
For those that, might be, I don't want to say hesitant to join the team, but they might think, well, hey, I don't know how to make a pool. I only know how to do plumbing. Yeah. Is it you learn the rest of it as well, or is it, hey, you're the plumbing guy, we're going to have you do the plumbing?
No, we try and get everybody to do a little bit of everything. Naturally, people have things that they enjoy more, they excel at. So, you may do plumbing or tile or concrete the majority of the time, but we try and get people to see all aspects of it, and that you're going to do some of these other things. If you work here long enough, you will be, you'll get opportunities to do that. So
that sounds a lot like the program I'm currently in, where I got kind of just exposed to all the different aspects of the radio industry, and then kind of figure out what you like about it, what you don't like, and you go from there.
Absolutely.
Chad, could you kind of talk about what we're seeing here? What we have, if you're on the Daily Dodge TV stream on dailydodge.com or on YouTube, you can see the process going on. Chad, what are we watching? What am I watching?
So what you're seeing right now is one of the guys doing the shotcrete process. They're applying the concrete through the hose and a high-pressure air hose through a nozzle and blowing it onto the wall. As it hits the wall, it compacts, and they're able to stack it up You can see kind of right now how it's about 3 feet high. A normal concrete process doesn't do that. You know, this is how we build our pool walls, 7, 8, 12 feet high, steps at a time. But they can stack, up to 3, 4 feet high sometimes, depending on the concrete mix. And they just keep going and working their way around the pool as they do that. And the compaction helps build a strong wall.
And this might be a little too inside construction here, but isn't it because there's like a water hose on top of it that's like spraying it down?
So there actually is not a water hose. It's mixed in the concrete truck just like a normal concrete would be, like flat work concrete would be. So the water's already mixed with the concrete. That's what the large hose that you see there is. And the smaller kind of orangish reddish colored hose, that's the high pressure air.
It was air that he was talking
so
about.
it's mixing together the air and the concrete at that nozzle that they're using to apply that concrete to the wall.
It looks like a fire extinguisher hose. It looks like something that I'd see a fireman using.
Sure, very similar.
Is it as heavy?
Heavier.
Heavy. Oh, I guess
it's full of concrete.
Concrete, not water. Yeah, that makes sense. Wow. So this is really cool. And well, I was telling Chris earlier something I never got to experience, and I think it's fantastic that these kids get to see this. And Chris was telling me that even people that are around don't get to see this kind of thing often that work here.
Correct. This is a process that probably maybe 20% of our company actually gets to see maybe on a normal basis. The guys that work in the field get to see this quite a bit.
Has there, well, maybe, I don't know, what's the next step of the program now? Are they going to continue working on this project, or will they have another project?
So we talked earlier today about progressing with this project, where after they finish this, we might do some tile work on it, or maybe do a little plumbing into it. So we're hoping that we can continue with this throughout the school year.
Yeah, that's really cool. And, well, how many years has this been going?
This is the second time that
Second year. And was it the same project last year?
Yep.
Okay.
Very, very similar, yeah.
Got it. Cool. Yeah, so that's really great, and it's really cool. What kind of, well, with this applied construction class, are they also working on, I don't know, what else do they work on in this class?
Yeah. So in applied construction, we try to get the students involved with every aspect of the construction process. So we do everything from building small walls at school and running some electrical through them. They learn drywall. We do plumbing, electrical. We'll do some exterior finishing like siding. They'll learn how to cut roofing rafters, shingling. We try to get them involved with every aspect of the construction process.
And where do you do like the roofing and all that?
The roofing, we do smaller modules. They're about they're about 4 feet by 4 feet.
Okay.
And then we roof them right at school.
I gotta close my mind a little bit. I'm thinking you guys are out on roofs and doing roofing projects for people just in class. Well, this is a really cool class. And again, this is the applied construction class, correct?
Correct.
And so we have about 15 students here that are all participating in the shotcrete. Darn it, I almost had it. Shotcrete, I don't know.
It's shotcrete. That's
just,
it's the process.
All right,
so.
this is the process of shotcrete. So if you're out over on Daily Dodge TV or on YouTube watching, Justin Wilsky's here, the ninja, and he's showing how the process is done. It doesn't even look that messy, I'll be honest, guys. I thought that we were going to be getting concrete everywhere, but it's not that crazy of a process. It's kind of straightforward.
Yeah, it can be.
Yeah, right.
This is a little bit more of a controlled environment, but again, it's not crazy.
No, it's not. I guess I was maybe because they're standing pretty close to the wall. I guess I would have thought that they'd have to be like way further back just based on the pressure that's going on, kind of like a fire hose, but not like that at all, it seems.
For the process to work properly, they need to stay close because part of the trick to this is the compaction of the concrete. It's the high velocity concrete coming through the hose that allows it to stand up. So if they stand back too far, it won't be near as strong.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense then, especially when like the one in the middle there. That reminds me of like a theme park ride inside the queue where that's on the walls and you're in like a cavern or something like that.
Absolutely, same process.
That's how all of it's done?
A lot of it. Yes.
Wow, cool. And then I'm sure there's other molding and stuff that goes on and all that. Well, before we go back to break, guys, could you maybe talk about the impact that trades will have for kids that are learning? I was telling Chris earlier that yesterday I was at an economic luncheon with the Beaver Dam Chamber, and they were talking about how big the workforce is in Dodge County in that 17 to 24 age group. And this is a perfect example of why. There's a lot that kids can do, a lot kids can learn, and like we were talking about, you might not need that 4-year degree to ultimately find success, be happy, find something that you like to do. There's a lot of different opportunities.
Yeah, so ultimately, construction isn't going away. Like, every field is growing. And also, if you look at the average age of people in the trades, a lot of them are getting up to retirement age. So there's a lot of jobs that are going to have to be filled. And again, with the students, they're experiencing it. They know they can do it. And ultimately, they know that they can make a very healthy living without going into the debt of a 4-year degree.
So there's a lot of the construction workforce is getting aged out right now?
Quite a bit of it, yeah.
Wow, I haven't heard that before. I guess I assumed there's always going to be room for people to join in the construction business. Well, we'll step aside here on Hometown Today. Ross, Chris, and Chad, thanks so much for joining me this morning, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're going to be back on Hometown Today. We've got another hour here where we're going to be continuing our conversation with the group from Neuman Pools and all that and more here on Hometown Today on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. All right, and welcome back into Hometown today on 95.3 WBEV. Charlie Dern with you this morning live at Neuman Pools Incorporated on 151, right across the street from the Culver's Blue Barn. So make sure to stop in there and visit the team. I was talking with Chris earlier. He was talking about how they start on the phone, typically, or online, and then it goes in person from there. And this team, they know exactly what they're doing. So make sure to stop in for anything you may want to do. Hometown Today is presented by Professional Floor Covering, your floor, and so much more. They have their holiday hosting sale going on now. Visit Randy and the team today to give your home the gift it deserves, an upgrade for all of your holiday hosting. Impressive selection of in-stock carpet and LVP flooring. Both are on sale. Upgrade your countertops and receive a free kitchen sink. 3 stainless steel styles of sink to choose from. Stop in the showroom and see the quality selections of flooring, countertops, shower blinds, and more. Don't delay, stop in at Professional Floor Covering or give Randy a call to schedule your measurement to upgrade your home before the holidays. Professional Floor Covering is located at 713 Park Avenue in Beaver Dam or online at proflr.com. Hometown Today is also presented by McKinstry's Home Furnishings. Take the art of reclining to a whole new level with Lazy Boy during the Black Friday sale at McKinstry's Home Furnishings, now through November 30th. Sit back, relax, and get cozy with recliners starting at $399. Make comfort your priority with sofas from $1,099. Go ahead, lean back, and kick up your feet in well-deserved relaxation. You can choose from over 150 Lazy Boy recliners in stock and ready for prompt delivery. Recliners make great Christmas gifts. No interest financing until May, and delivery is free. Long live the lazy. McKinstry's Home Furnishings, where customers matter and quality counts for 166 years. Over 166 years. And I know that on Sunday we'll be at Tower Lanes for our second Pack Attack party as the Packers take on the Bears. I'm looking forward to that game. I am a little nervous for it. I won't lie. All this stuff in Chicago, we all think it's going to be a blowout. That's kind of the recipe for disaster. Ninja's shaking his head. He agrees. He thinks maybe we'll be closer. So come and enjoy the game over at Tower Lanes in Beaver Dam and have your chance at the McKinstry's Home Furnishings best seat in the house, as we'll have the recliner. Wally and I are picking that up today, so we're looking forward to all that and more. I'll be joined in a couple minutes by Bruce and Heath Zupke. So we'll be talking about all the different opportunities that Neuman Pools has, a little bit more about the program that they have going on here. And if you check us out on YouTube, there's a drone here. There's a drone here over at Neuman Pools. There's a whole project going on, construction. Check us out on YouTube at Daily Dodge TV or on dailydodge.com. Go over to the Daily Dodge TV tab and you'll be able to see everything going on here. I've got trucks behind me and the Neuman Pools facility behind me, and then behind Ninja is where all the construction site is going on, as the kids are using shotcrete and getting a great look at spraying shotcrete and what that looks like in a pool system. When I was talking to Chris, it's not even just pools. It can be anything. So I'm learning a ton here. And so when I'm back, I'll be talking and learning more with Heath and Bruce here on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. All right, and welcome into Hometown today on 95.3 WBEV. Charlie Dern with you here at Neuman Pools. We're live at Neuman Pools, right across the street from the Blue Barn, the Blue Culver's Barn on Highway 151 here in Beaver Dam. I'm joined by Bruce Kurt Petroli, and Heath Zubke. Heath, we have a lot that we could talk about this morning. Thanks for joining me, first of all.
Yeah.
So we what we wanted to talk about was the career arc at Neuman Pools and how, similar to radio broadcasting, it's not really one way or the other. It's kind of fluid. There's a lot of different things that you can get involved with. Could you share your story with Neuman Pools?
Right. So right out of high school, I joined Neuman Pools. So I was hired around 2001, actually the day before 9/11. So I'll actually never forget the day. But when I started, I didn't even know how to read a tape measure.
Oh wow.
A couple days before that, I actually asked my dad, and I said, can you give me a quick run through on reading a tape measure? So he took the time and kind of showed me the ins and outs of it. I took some notes of it, but I was really worried. I didn't know tools. I didn't know what the names of them were. So I started, and I was just out of my element. But I came on. I just worked hard. I came to work every single day. I just focused on being a hard worker. And there was enough great people here at Neuman Pools. They really took me under their wing, showed me what everything was, what all the tools were. So that helped quite a bit. The first couple years I traveled a lot, spent a lot of time in Colorado, worked on a lot of different crews, learning a lot of different trades, concrete, plumbing, electrical, building, just learned a little bit of everything, tile. And then eventually worked my way up to a lead man, and then really took on to plumbing.
Okay.
So I really loved it. I enjoyed it. It made it a lot easier to come to work, just doing something you enjoyed.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of took me to the foreman level. So I just worked at that, was a foreman for a while. And then in 2015, I was given the opportunity to come into the office.
Okay.
So we had picked up a lot of people, we picked up a lot of work. So we were looking at restructuring. We wanted to create divisions so everybody could be just looked after a little closer. So we created the plumbing division. It's something that never existed before. So kind of had the job of come in and create this and help supervise it. So that's how it kind of started. I came into the office, and at that point I didn't even know to send an email. so I was pretty green at that too.
Yeah.
So really nervous. So I took that on, and it kind of morphed into project management and a lot of scheduling. So really did a lot of scheduling and project management, running the plumbing department, and which, coming this year, I was offered the opportunity to become a general superintendent.
Okay.
So in February, kind of took over the general superintendent role. So basically I oversee all field personnel. I schedule them daily, kind of, what do they need? How can I help them? What can I do for you? Just look after everybody, basically, and, and schedule them daily. Who do they work well with? Where do they fit? What works well? I want everybody to enjoy who they're working with and what they're doing. There's no reason you should dread coming to work and don't like this guy and don't like that guy. So ultimately, how does it all fit and work well? So that's nice to be able to kind of be in charge of that. And on top of that, I oversee the entire schedule at Neuman Pools.
Okay. Wow.
So it can be a lot, but it gets easier every day, and I really enjoy it. I enjoy just being able to help things change, to be able to help people. I want to make a difference. One thing that I'll never forget is when I started and I couldn't read a tape measure.
Yeah.
So I really want to give other people the opportunity to be just like me, right? Come in with little knowledge. It's okay to be scared. Just be able to come in and work their way through the company, see where it gets you. So it's really enjoyable for me. You have your good days and your bad days, but mostly it's enjoyable.
Sure,
so.
yeah. Be a total sponge. Just
Yep.
see what sticks with you. And, yeah, that was something that Chris and I were also talking about earlier, was that you might specialize in something and you might still have to work in other spots, but you might end up finding that you enjoy one thing a lot more than the others, and then you can specialize in that a little more, like plumbing or doing other things. When you started out and you didn't know how to use a tape measure, Sierra Kuhn here, she can't hear me say this, she thought I didn't know how to use a hammer when I first started here. All right, so I'm in the same boat of not the most handy person in the world.
That's okay.
That's for sure. I say it's genetic. My dad isn't either. But you've come all this way, and I know you just walked us through the journey. But when you're first starting out, all of a sudden you're getting sent to Colorado, and then you're learning everything.
It was nerve-wracking. Not really knowing anybody. I was really young. But also it was a really good opportunity. You know, a lot of my friends were going to college.
Right.
So they were going someplace. So it made me feel like achievement. You know, like, hey, I'm going someplace too. So it got me away from my parents. I was able to kind of do my own grocery shopping and kind of got me comfortable and gave me the chance to grow as a, you know, out of work as well. So that was really, really nice. And then you really start to understand the people you're working with too. So just the camaraderie that builds being out of town together. We played a lot of cards, played a lot of cribbage at night.
Nice.
So just that, it was really enjoyable. And then just learning everything. When we would go out of town on our bigger jobs, we work them start to finish. So you can go all the way from the digging process of excavating the pool to I actually got to turn a pump on and watch the water go down the slides.
Yeah.
So it's really cool to see the job evolve. So
Definitely, and it feels like, from what I'm hearing, when you're starting at Neuman Pools, there aren't doors in your way, there aren't obstacles in your way to continue your career. It feels like it's, hey, you're joining the team, you're in the pool with all, pool, I didn't,
yeah.
That wasn't intended, but it works really well. You're in the same pool as everyone else, you know,
Right.
like we're all here for the common goal and working together.
Absolutely. You know, I'll say it in every interview that I'm in, there's nothing holding you back but yourself. You could start here at Neuman Pools and not know anything, and your hard work will pay off. The people that you work with will recognize it, and they'll make sure that you evolve and continue to grow at Neuman Pools. The doors are open. You can start here and you can go through it really quickly, which is great. You could turn into a project manager or whatever else you might want to be, or if you just want to do a slow progression, that's okay as well. You know, we're happy with every kind of employee at Neuman Pools. If you treat us well, we'll treat you well. So
It certainly sounds like the decision you made when you were young to join the trades, it worked out for you.
Absolutely. You know, just doing work in my house. This weekend, for instance, I'm starting to remodel my bathroom.
Oh.
I have no problem with doing the drywall, the plumbing, the electrical. I learned that all at Neuman Pools. That's money that I'm saving for actually having somebody else do the work for me.
Yeah.
So it helps me on my own as well.
I might have to get an internship or something before I'm a home buyer, because that stuff is
Yeah.
going to add up for me, and I have no clue how to do any of
It
it.
does, and it's very expensive.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. When we're watching this process here, what step is this? So the pool's, I'm sure, been dug, and then now we're standing in the hole, spraying the walls up?
Yep.
Or do we got to get the ground first? Probably
No,
the ground.
You know, we've done it every which way. It depends on the actual pool itself. But typically, you know, we'll shoot the walls in with the concrete, and then we'll cut them and then pour the floors behind it. But I've seen it done the other way as well. We'll do some pools where we shoot the floors and wall all together in one day. Depends on the resources we have. If it's 100 degrees out, you might not be able to do the whole pool in a day, because the concrete will set up fast on you. But I personally, I loved this. You know, especially as a new person, there's a lot of days in construction where you just don't know what you're doing next. But I tell you what, on concrete day, you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And you know you're working with concrete all day long, so you just stay busy and keep working hard.
I just saw a kid grab a chunk with his hand and lay it out. Is that a technique you guys use?
I wouldn't recommend it, but it's okay, and everybody's got to start someplace, so that's just fine.
So when you guys are traveling for projects, how does it work with getting materials there? Are we bringing them straight from here, or are you outsourcing from local companies?
It depends. Typically, we'll order it straight to the job. But if you're within a couple hours in Neuman Pools, we'll bring it here, and then we'll have our foreman bring it to site. So it just depends on location.
I see. So then what are some of those other projects that you worked on young in your career? Or was Colorado the one that is definitely the one that sticks out?
So Colorado, I was there for 2 major projects, so almost 2 years full. But I had worked in Myrtle Beach for a while. We worked on a Hard Rock theme park.
Oh, cool.
That was pretty neat. It was pretty neat to cruise around and just the entire job and how big it was. So I had worked in Myrtle Beach. I've worked in Michigan, Minnesota, Illinois, Iowa, Indiana, Nebraska, Minnesota. I think at one point it was over 20 different states that I worked in for Neuman Pools.
Wow.
Which is awesome. Because a lot of those places were great, but I'm glad that I got paid to go to some of those other ones that I wouldn't want to go back to.
Definitely.
So,
Yeah, let me just add to that. We do a lot of work out of state like that, but probably the vast majority of our jobs are probably within an hour and a half to 2 hour radius of Beaver Dam.
Huh.
So we try very hard. Heath, you talked about his scheduling, right? And we understand different family environment for every employee. So some of our employees are like, yes, I want that experience. Send me out of state. Let me work on these large projects. I want to see it. Other employees are like, hey, my family life doesn't allow me to travel that much. I want to stay back here. And we work with employees on a regular basis. Heath will reach out and say, hey, are you capable of traveling this week? Are you capable of traveling that week? Because as a family business, and Chris talked, right, been here for 50 years, Chuck and Randy have done every step of this process. They dug the first pool with a shovel, right? They know what's involved in this process. So we work with all of our employees to what works best for them, right? So we ask a lot of them on a daily basis, and they can ask a little bit of us too, saying, hey, I prefer to do this, and we can work with them on that level.
That's
Right.
wonderful. I was just going to ask about the flexibility there and whether or not you wanted that part of it, because certainly not every construction company is going to send you all across. So we'll ask you first if they can send you.
Absolutely. If an employee wants to stay home because they have a newborn or something like that, absolutely have no problem. We'll keep you busy. We'll keep you working here. But also there's a lot of people who want to get the traveling experience, so we have that as well. So very cool.
So I'm not sure how unique your journey is when you jumped from being in the construction to then working in the office. How unique is that? And is there a flipping of going from office to construction to office?
I think the guys out in the field respect you a lot more, knowing that you've been through the trenches. You've built everything from scratch, and you've had your hands on it. So it's a lot easier to understand not only that aspect, but being able to schedule somebody on what they're doing. I've been there, I've done it, I understand. If you're having a problem, it's no big deal. We'll figure it out together. So it really helps. The other project managers in the office as well, Neuman Pools, Billy Horseman and Lance Jones, and they've been through the field as well. They were homegrown all the way up from the ground. So we all worked our way up through this company.
Having culture like that really sets the precedent, especially for new employees that are joining, or in the trades, younger employees that are joining. Seeing that example in front of them of, hey, I was just like you. Now look at where I am. It takes some time. It takes a lot of hard work. Some days that you might not love it, but if you put in that work, you lay the foundation, right?
Yep.
Right, and then you're able to grow, and that's something that's really amazing about Neuman Pools.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I tell everybody, it's just you can do what you want to do here at Neuman Pools. I'm probably gonna, if you start here at Neuman Pools, I'm going to give you the opportunity to kind of do a little bit of everything, just like I was given, and you might not have done what you're really good at yet. So we're going to find out, and I want you to enjoy what you're doing, so that's a big deal.
Real quick, before we go to break here, could you touch on that culture that we're talking about, of the flexibility, of the understanding, of caring about the employees that are here, and how important that is to create a culture where people want to come back into work every day?
So I'm glad you brought that up, because yesterday, actually my birthday was this Sunday.
Oh, happy belated.
Thank you. So I had a thought on Sunday. I'm like, you know what? I really want to know when my guys' birthdays are. I took 2 hours yesterday and I put every individual's birthdays in my calendar, just so I can recognize them on that day. I really want them to understand that we do care. I care, and Neuman Pools cares. This is a family business, and I'll say it all day long. Neuman Pools has been here for me through a lot of rough times, and they've celebrated the good times with me. It's just a great atmosphere to work at. Chris Neuman, his desk is right across the hall from me. His door is never shut. Sometimes I wish it was, but it's never shut, and you can walk in there, and I've never seen them turn anybody away. So it's a really enjoyable atmosphere to work at.
Awesome. Well, Heath, thanks so much for sharing your story this morning.
No, thank you.
We'll step aside here on Hometown Today. When we're back, we'll probably be talking with maybe a couple more employees and some students that are participating in the applied construction class at Beaver Dam High School. So all that and more here on Hometown Today, 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. All right, and welcome back into Hometown Today on 95.3 WBEV. Charlie Dern with you this morning live at Neuman Pools, right across the highway on 151 from the Blue Barn, the Blue Culver's Barn. So we're having a great day here. We're checking out the applied construction class over at Beaver Dam High School. There's a whole shotcrete process happening behind me. It's an active construction zone here, and I'm joined by Chris Neuman. He's back on the air with me. Welcome back, Chris.
Thanks.
So there's a couple things we still wanted to touch on here. How can kids get involved, or how can students get involved with different programs?
So we're involved in a number of different apprenticeship programs. This year with GPSED coming to town through Generac, we're involved in that apprenticeship program, and also through Inspire. So there's a lot of apprenticeships that are available for kids that are in high school. Our involvement with the applied construction class. So I mean, there are all those opportunities, and we try to be involved with as many of those as possible. So again, we just want to be a part of the community and give back. And so,
What does an apprenticeship at Neuman Pools look like?
so the apprenticeship, it's a little bit different than a standard apprenticeship, but you know, they depending how it's set up, they go to school so many days a week or so many hours a day, and then they come and work at Neuman Pools, and they're paid just like a normal employee, and they come and work with their Neuman Pools, and they work on our crews, and you know, they get to experience all the different parts of pool building and construction that we offer.
Right. So I was just talking with Heath, and he was saying for a lot of times when people start, he's going to get you used to a little bit of everything, get you seeing what you like.
Yeah.
He was talking about how he liked plumbing. We were talking earlier about how that does happen. People, they get to learn all of it, but at the end of the day, a lot of times they realize, hey, I really enjoy the plumbing. I really enjoy the shotcrete or whatever it is. And so I think it's really cool that there's such a wide range of things or departments, whatever, I don't know what term to use there. There's so many different departments that you can really find your home in a lot of different areas.
Absolutely. I mean, it's not just the construction part of the industry that we're a part of. As I said earlier, you know, we have a full design department, and Water Technology is actually a company that my uncle owns, and they're an aquatic engineer all around the world. And some of the people that work there worked in the field here many years ago. And there's many people that have retired from Neuman Pools that grew up in the industry with my dad, Randy, and built some of our first swimming pools, and grew up, and we're in management, and we're project managers and engineers. You know, there is a full career here that can be self-taught at Neuman Pools.
And that self-taught part is the really important piece, because you're putting it all together, right? I was just talking with Heath, who told me the tape measure story, how he came here, he didn't even know how to do that. I was telling them that maybe I should look into the apprenticeship before I get a house and I need to get some remodeling done, because I got to learn some of these skills so I can save myself some money, because Heath was talking about it. He's going to be able to redo his whole bathroom by himself and save thousands.
Yep, absolutely.
Those are all great skills to learn. And the other thing that we were talking about with Kurt and Heath was the flexibility at Neuman Pools. How if your situation with your family, maybe I can't travel, maybe I can't go and do this project in New Mexico or wherever it may be, how you guys understand that and you'll adjust for that.
Absolutely. I mean, we are a family-owned, family-ran business, and we want to make sure that the culture of this company stays that way. Both Randy and I have open-door policies, and we enjoy it when the employees come in and talk to us, whether it's just to say hi, they have an issue. We want to make sure that door's open and they're comfortable to come talk to us, and you know, that we can be understanding. You know, I mean, we ask a lot of our employees, we need to work hard, but we want to be understanding of that you have a family first, and family and community is very important to Neuman Pools.
And for the younger starting off people, the traveling might be really exciting. For me, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, I spent many years early on in my career traveling, and it was some of the best times that I had. I got to see the country. I got to go live in other areas of the country for, you know, 6 months, 9 months, a year, 2 years, just depending on how long the project was. But I got to come home every other week if I wanted to, or every 3 weeks, you know, and the company provides all the travel, the lodging, all those things. So, I mean, if you're single, I mean, it's a great opportunity. And, you know, we really do cover a large geography. There's I would say, as far as anything, you know, residential to a municipal pool, you know, like for many people, Horicon Pool, Fox Lake, Columbus, we built all of those pools. And those are municipal style pools, same with the pools at the YMCA. But we'll probably travel pretty easily a 5-hour radius for any of that kind of stuff. So we have a whole group and a team here at Neuman Pools that come to Neuman Pools just about every day. We provide the ride and the travel to the job site wherever we're working, whether it be Madison, Milwaukee, Green Bay, the Dells, all over, and then give you a ride home at the end of the day. And then when we do have these other projects that are coming up, you know, we have different travel programs depending on where the job is, whether you're going to just leave on Monday morning and come home Friday evening, or maybe you're going to go out and go to Texas, and you're going to do a 2-week or 3-week stay. But we have a large variety of that kind of work. So I don't want people to feel like if you work at Neuman Pools, you have to travel, because that's not the case at all. But if you want the opportunity, it is there.
And then on top of that, the opportunity to maybe move into an administrative role. That door's not closed just because you're in the construction side. There's always the chance to flip-flop.
No, absolutely. And to be honest, I mean, just about everybody on the management team started at Neuman Pools with a shovel in their hand, including myself. And that knowledge to be able to grow with the company and have the building blocks and understand why we do the things we do only helps you to become even more wise in the decisions you make as you grow and become part of the leadership team and management team here at Neuman Pools.
Absolutely. Yeah, having that example in front of you and understanding that, yes, they did this first. And Heath mentioned, I wanted to fact check this before I go off the air. He said the first Neuman Pools was dug with a shovel.
It was.
Wow. Okay, I guess I assumed that it was like, maybe not just a shovel.
I've learned a very wise quote from my dad, actually many. But he's told me that there's some things a man learns in life only to do once, and a lot of that pertains to how some of the first swimming pools were built. And but we had to learn how to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then probably never again on digging a pool with a shovel.
Yeah, absolutely.
How long did that take?
I don't know exactly, but.
All right. Well, we'll step aside here on Hometown Today. Chris, It's been great meeting you and talking with you this morning, and thanks for having us here on Hometown Today.
You bet. Thank you. It was a pleasure being here.
We'll step aside here. We'll go visit ABC News, Daily Dodge News Center, and Sports with Wade Bates here on Hometown Today, 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. All right, and welcome into Hometown today on 95.3 WBEV. Charlie Dern with you this morning, live at Neuman Pools, right across the street from the Blue Culver's Barn. And something Chris wanted to mention on the air, but it slipped his mind. Chris Neuman, he said the very first pool that Neuman Pools dug up was currently built underneath the Culvers that's currently in Beaver Dam. That was the location of the first one. Pretty cool, pretty cool. So I'm joined now by Ross Damon, Hayden Burkon, and Joey DiStefano. So these are all members of Ross isn't a member of the class, but the applied construction class at Beaver Dam High School. Everyone, welcome in. Thanks for joining me.
Hey, how's it going?
So you guys were just working on the shotcrete back there. What's this process been like? Have you guys been enjoying this class? Just tell me all about it, your interest, getting involved. I don't know, Joe, you want to start?
It's been a process. Every day we're in the shop building, understanding what's really going on and the process of what leads up to this, and really the understanding of what is this project and what are we doing. So,
well, what is the project and what are we doing? Where did you guys start? How many steps to get here?
We really started from ground zero, I would say, Damon, but we learned what the shot concrete process was, and now we're here and we're learning how to do that concrete process and how to shoot that concrete. So it's from ground zero up. That's where we started.
Yeah, Ross, what did day one look like?
So the first day, Chad and Kurt came in, and first they set up all the students with a really awesome set of tools to get the kids started. Tool belts, hammers, squares, screwdrivers, linesman pliers, just everything that they need to be successful. Then we also had a drawing of the modules that we're going to be building, and then the kids had to work through, based on that drawing, what materials do we need, just estimating like material costs, just kind of creating the plan of what we were going to actually build. And then from there, Chad and Kurt and some of the others were coming in every day, just helping the kids build the frames that we have. And we're bending, cutting, and tying rebar to support the concrete. And then once those frames were all built at school, we loaded them up on a trailer and brought them here for the shotcrete.
It's really cool that they get to experience that full process and how it takes a lot of time and it doesn't just happen overnight. Well, maybe some projects might have to happen overnight, but not this one. Hayden, when it came to getting involved, what made you want to sign up for the class from the beginning?
Well, for 4 years straight, I've been taking like any of like the classes like welding, woods. So I saw applied construction. I'm like, and I've had people talk to me about it. Classes like you do all this fun stuff. I'm like, why not? Like after high school, I'm going to trade, so might as well learn some more stuff about it. And I took the class, and I'm really glad I took it. I really enjoy the people in that class, what we do. And it's fun. I enjoy doing all this stuff. I enjoy coming to class.
It seems like it's all working together and working as a team on all these projects, and that's always my favorite way to work. I always just like a team atmosphere. I like being able to bounce ideas off each other. But when it comes to this, almost feels like you're following steps. Am I wrong in saying that yes, you're working together, but it's not. I guess what I'm thinking of is when it comes to a project where there's an entire process that's laid out and knowing how to do it. Ross, was it Neuman coming in every day that really laid that groundwork of taking the time and showing each step, breaking it down really thoroughly, I guess?
I think so. Them coming in every day, I think it helped the students stay motivated with the project. And also, they heard it from a few different employees at Neuman that like every job is going to be a little bit different. So the process is pretty much going to be the same, but there might be some nuances from job to job that just make it a little bit different, and sometimes that's good, sometimes it's bad, but I think it makes the whole process a little more enjoyable.
Definitely. What are some of the things that you guys have enjoyed about applied construction, and you guys could even talk about some of the other trade classes that you guys have taken?
Well, the one thing I think I enjoyed the most is probably Neuman coming on, like getting us all the tools and shooting concrete and stuff. I think that was probably, I'd say, was one of my best experience in applied construction.
Back to the question of what made me come to this class was motivation of these boys, the motivation of this group, staying together as a group, learning how to do stuff, being able to handle each other, really the relationships that we build off one another, be able to have those ideas to talk about with one another, and being able to have a good relationship with that teacher really goes a long way.
Yeah, I can definitely see a relationship with the teacher in a class like this, how that'd be important. Could you guys talk a little bit about today and your experience with the shotcrete? And, well, now they're smoothing it out, it looks like, but you guys were there for the spraying.
Yeah, I'd say coming into today, I was a little nervous what was going to happen, because they had tell me, like, oh, like, if you're not holding it right, something bad could happen, or, a lot of things could go bad. But as I was shooting the concrete with help, I'm like, in my head, thinking in my head, I'm like, oh, it's not that bad. I could do this for a living.
I'm be honest, I thought this was gonna make my mind go nervous today, but as soon as I lifted the handle or whatever it's called, concrete thing, the hose, I told myself I could do this. I could go do this for days. But the thing is, learn how to do it, go do it.
Yeah.
That's what you want to do.
Yeah.
I felt like a natural out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. I like it. And it's pretty cool. So you guys made the frames too, right? And then you made the metal bars in the middle. You guys made those too, or were those?
They came in the
rebar they came in 20-foot bars, so the students had to cut them and bend them, get all their measurements for it, and
wow,
and then tie them together.
Yeah, wow. And so then now we're smoothing it out. What are we doing here?
Oh, we're just making everything flat, because in the spring they're gonna come back to BD and we're gonna tile them. You said?
Yeah, it sounds like we're gonna do some plaster and tile on them, so they're just making them smooth, so we can adhere that plaster and tile to them.
One thing I didn't. Is this a year-long class?
It is. Yes.
It is. Okay. All right. Not semesters. Okay. Got it. Yeah, that makes sense then.
Mm-hmm.
So then, on the day-to-day, you're not spraying concrete, but what are you guys doing in that applied construction class? Were you still doing small projects with this, or is it? I'm imagining it's not a lot of textbook learning.
A little bit. When he's gone, we do a lot of textbook work. But,
there is to it. Okay.
But before this project, we had another project we were doing. We were learning how to build frames and stuff, do electricity work, and then we're drywalling, all that stuff. And I'd say it's probably my second favorite project we've done.
Okay.
It's up there.
So you like it? It sounds like you're gravitating more towards the construction side of it. Yeah, the hands-on, applied. Well, literally applied, like today for the class. But yeah, seems like you've got a good idea of that. And what I've been talking about with like Chris Neuman, they've been talking about how at Neuman Pools you're not going to get stuck down to one spot. Yeah, you might think you like to do the hands-on, but maybe eventually you say, man, I want to do more of the plumbing, or I actually want to work in the office. And they were telling us about how all of that is reinforced on the day-to-day, that it's a very comfortable place to work because they listen to you, they're flexible, and I think that's really cool that they're ultimately getting out in the community, working with kids, showing them the trades, showing them it's not that bad, showing them, yeah, you might get a little dirty, you might have to wash your hands after this, but ultimately it's pretty easy. Or not, maybe not easy is the right word, but ultimately the job can get done.
Yeah, it's a very doable job.
Yeah, definitely. What are some of the other things that you guys are going to be working on moving forward? Or Ross, you were saying maybe potentially some tiling and stuff?
Yeah, we're going to be working with these same modules, doing some tiling and plastering, but other things on the docket for the class. Like Hayden had said, we've been working on this, like a framing module where they framed up some walls, they put in a window, we ran some power through it. We're going to do drywall, texture, we'll do flooring on it, just interior finishing one side of the wall, and then on the opposite side of the wall we do exterior finishing, so just siding on it. They learn how to cut rafters for roofing jobs, and then they'll get to shingle those, so we'll actually make a smaller like roof module. They'll learn how to frame it, and then we usually in the spring try to do some sort of community project. So like last year we built a fish cleaning house out at Durgee Park, and we got another pavilion project being planned for Tahoe Park this coming spring.
Cool. I think I saw a Facebook post about the Fisher. Yeah, I think I saw that when I was looking into everything. It's really cool that Beaver Dam High School offers these trade classes. I was talking about it earlier. My high school didn't, and so ultimately kids would graduate high school and just have to decide, what am I going to just jump into it or not? And so I think it's really cool that you guys have the chance to see, even if I like it, maybe I don't want to do this, but I'm glad I took the class because I learned that I don't want to be part of this. Could you guys kind of talk about maybe encouraging those that are unsure if they want to try it to just give it a shot, because maybe you will find that you like it.
Yeah, like when I went to freshman year, I had no idea how to read a tape measure, nothing. And I took the classes, and now I'm really excited to graduate high school and go work in the trade. And, you know, you could take the class, you can still have fun but not like it. It's all right. You can go work somewhere else.
Yeah, this certainly beats math class.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, I enjoy it way more than going to like English or something like that, sitting there for 45 minutes reading a book.
All right, well, now you're going too far. I loved English class.
Okay.
You're going too far. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just messing around. I was a journalism major, though, but the reading, not my forte. But what about you, Joey?
I encourage those to really try the classes to see what you like. If you don't like it, try something else. Go find something else you really want to major in, or go do whatever you want to do. But I encourage those to really try to get those trades classes, to really understand what's going on, to really understand what are the trades, what are those trades that are out there, and see what kids can do. Just like me, I learned a lot from ground zero all the way freshman year all the way to now.
Yeah, you certainly don't think of making a pool as being part of the trades, and so I think that it's so cool, and all the opportunities that they have here are phenomenal. But Ross, would you want to maybe offer a couple words of encouragement for those that are, I'm not sure if I want to join it or not?
Yeah, so I mean, tech ed courses in general, you know, sometimes school isn't for everybody, and in those tech ed courses, you can kind of get into a place where, like, hey, you know, maybe math class isn't my thing, but we're still learning math in tech ed.
Yeah, you're right.
There's
Yep.
a lot of construction math. Maybe English isn't my thing, but we're reading a lot in construction. We got to read blueprints and building codes, and so it's just an area that you can really get involved in, and you're still going to be learning a lot more than you really think that you're going to be learning in the class.
That's a good point. I never think about those kinds of things where all of a sudden you're measuring things, you're doing math, and you're doing maybe not calculus, but you're doing math. Joey and Hayden, could you guys maybe share? And I'm putting you on the spot, so I'm sorry, but maybe an example or two of an experience that you had in one of these trade classes or in applied construction working with Neuman Pools where you were like, I really don't think I'm going to be into this. And then you found out, like you guys were talking about, like, oh, this isn't that bad at all.
I'd say probably shooting the concrete for me. And I'm like, I don't know if I really want to. Like, oh man, you did put me on the spot. Like a brain fart.
That's all right.
You go.
I really think a lot of the math and a lot of the reading, when I started this class, when I started reading textbooks, I'm like, hey, come on, what are we doing? But from like this project, this is fun. But it's a lot of understanding and a lot of math goes into it, a lot of reading. So I mean, it takes one thing at a time. So, but this project is really fun, and being able to be around these boys in this group, it's a lot of fun. So.
Did anything come back to you, Joe or Hayden? No. All right. Well, that's right. You gave a good example of thinking that this might not be what you wanted to do. And one thing that I was thinking of this whole time was like, well, Neuman Pools, what do they do in the winter? They got to go somewhere else. And this whole time, I'm not thinking about indoor pools. I'm not thinking about water parks. I'm not thinking of any of that. But they do all of that here at Neuman Pools. So, guys, thanks so much again for joining me this morning. I really appreciate it. And I hope you guys had a fun day.
Yeah,
I
it
did.
was fun.
So,
thank you for having us.
Of course.
Yeah, thank you.
Joined by Ross Damon, Hayden Burkon, and Joey DeStefano from Beaver Dam High School. Ross, you're the teacher of the class, correct? Correct. All right. So he's the instructor of applied construction. Again, thanks, guys, for joining me. It's been really fun here as I've been watching this construction site unfold in front of my very eyes here on Hometown Today. Hometown Today is presented by McKinstry's Home Furnishings in downtown Beaver Dam. They take the art out of reclining to a whole new level with Lazy Boy during the Black Friday sale at McKinstry's Home Furnishings in downtown Beaver Dam, now through November 30th. Sit back, relax, and get cozy with recliners starting at $399. No interest financing until May, and delivery is free. Long live the Lazy. McKinstry's Home Furnishings, where customers matter and quality counts, for over 166 years. Hometown Today is also presented by Professional Floor Covering, your floor, and so much more. Visit Randy and the team over at 713 Park Avenue in Beaver Dam or online at proflr.com. Again, we've been here all day for Hometown Today at Neuman Pools, live on site for the applied construction class with the program they have running with the Beaver Dam High School. It's been awesome being here, and they're standing off to the side, but thank you guys so much for having us. It's been a great time. I've learned a lot today. This is not my forte at all, and I've learned a lot, and I'm really excited to see where this project keeps continuing on. So that'll do it for us here on Hometown Today on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.